Hello, my name is Dr. Phil Boyle. I would like to introduce you to our fertility app at ChartNeo.com. If you go to our website, you will be able to download the app through the App Store on either Apple or Google Play. Once you do that, then we would ask you to follow the prompts that the app would lead you through. You get a 45-day free trial to see, do you like the app and would you like to continue using it? A key bit of information for using the app is, are you using it to try to get pregnant? Are you trying to avoid pregnancy, ecological family planning, or are you using the app purely for women's health? If you're using the app to avoid pregnancy, we like you to record how seriously are you avoiding pregnancy. For serious avoiders who rate their seriousness of 7 or more out of 10, click the calendar rule for more accurate reliability in avoiding a surprise pregnancy. We ask you to enter your email address and a password that you create yourself, and then we confirm with you that you've entered the email address correctly. We would like for you to share your data with us for analytical purposes. We do not share your data with any third parties, and your data is encrypted and completely secure. But we like to use anonymous data to see how effective is the app for fertility awareness and family planning and fertility treatment. Record what format you like to record the day, month, and year in, and confirm that before you get started. But very quickly, you're up and running, recording your fertility cycle. We use proven elements from scientific methods of fertility awareness, from the Billings ovulation method, the Creighton model fertility care system, and Sensi Plan. Now, we are not any of these methods, but our app works well with people who are already trained in these techniques. We also have our own trained neo-fertility advisors to provide you with neo-fertility instructions. So after you've downloaded the app and you have your email and password, you can return to the website chartneo.com. You click at the upper right corner for the web portal, and if you enter the email and password, that will enable you to see the data you've recorded through the app. This is a fantastic feature of our app, especially from my point of view as a medical doctor who provides fertility assessment and treatment. I get extremely useful data from your fertility app that I can see in real time through my computer. You can also share your app data with your fertility teacher. We can reliably identify the windows of fertility and infertility with a combination of mucus recording and temperature assessment for those who need it. But remember, the app is only as good as the data you put in. It is useful because the app will put in the code that we're looking for, it'll put in the stamp, and it'll pick out your peak day. But you do need instruction from a trained fertility provider to be able to enter your data accurately. We start usually with the menstrual bleed. So let's bring you through a typical menstrual cycle. When you document the bleeding pattern, typically a new cycle could start out as either heavy or medium. So you click the appropriate stamp, and you also put an X to start a new cycle. And every time you do that, it'll be documented precisely with your fertility chart. If it's a heavy or moderate menstrual bleed, that's all the data we need, and that's all we require. If you document light or spotting, then we also want to know information about, was there any mucus present at that time? Because sometimes fertility begins during light or spotting days. So the app won't enter a stamp until you also go through the WWIT assessment routine, which I'll explain to you in a moment, so that we get an accurate description of what the mucus pattern was like. The app will be prompting you to work through WWIT to document more information. Once you've entered that, then it'll put in the stamp and the code. What is this WWIT assessment routine? Well, it's the technique we use to help you to make accurate observations. We want to know, what sensation do you notice while walking or moving? When you wipe with the tissue, what do you feel when wiping? Inspect the tissue, what do you see? And if cervical fluid or mucus is present, how does it test? So let's go through the different steps. Walking. We ask you to become aware of the vulvar sensation noticed when walking during the day. The vulva is the outer part of the female genitals. You may notice 3 different types of sensation: a dry sensation, vulvar wetness, or even slipperiness. We ask you to become aware of what your typical sensation is like, and especially to become aware when there's a change in that, because it is a change that alerts us to the beginning of your fertility. Sometimes you don't make this assessment, and you could record that as well. Wiping. Automatically, the app moves straight through to the next prompt to document what did you notice while wiping with the tissue routinely while using the toilet during the day. There are 3 main sensations you may notice. We ask you to wipe every time before and after urination or a bowel movement. You wipe from front to back and make sure that you wipe over the perineum, that area of skin just below the vagina, because that's where you notice the sensation most. You may notice a dry or smooth feeling, and these sensations are not fertile. But if there's an obvious slippery runaway feeling, that is fertile and recorded with a blue stamp. Next, we ask you to inspect the tissue. Record whatever you see on the tissue. If it appears dry, moist, or shiny, they're all considered non-fertile, or even wet tissue isn't considered fertile. If mucus is present, make sure to document that. If mucus is present, the next prompt immediately shows up, and we ask you to stretch the mucus between the thumb and index finger so that you can complete your assessment. We want to know, does the mucus stretch 2 centimeters or not? Is the mucus clear or not clear? And that's it, the data is complete. If mucus is observed and you do not complete the final part of testing, then the stamp remains blank and it will not be filled out until you document the stretch and the color. Once you do that, the code and the stamp is entered. In summary, our assessment routine is: become aware of the changes in vulvar sensation noticed while walking or moving during the day. Wipe every time before and after urination or a bowel movement. And when you wipe, take note of the sensation first, even before you inspect the tissue. And when you look at the tissue, if there's mucus present, lift it and stretch it for stretch and color. Remember, it takes 21 days to develop a new habit, so be patient with this. And also remember, if you want reliable recording, work with a fertility advisor. We have a range of fertility providers at our website at ChartNeo.com, and they're also listed on our app. I'll show you where to find them later. Each provider, you can identify whether they're trained with Billings, Creighton model, symptothermal, or whether they're neo-fertility advisors. Additional features you find when you click at the little top left-hand side of the app. And if you click on this area, you'll see these additional prompts. If you click under Learn, all these features come out, and here's where you get a list of where the fertility providers are, doctors and teachers globally. You can also get access to our Kindle booklet. It's a user manual that explains more details of how to chart, and a video library where you will find this video and in future additional videos as well. You could also look at details of your account, and you can change how you document the date. You can change your password and other features that you find as you play around with the app. You can also see who are you sharing the app data with, and you can turn that on or off according to your own wishes. The pathway, you will be asked this every time you reach day 7 of your cycle if you're using the system for family planning or fertility awareness. Because if you're trying to avoid pregnancy, It is important to document how seriously are you avoiding, because often when couples become very relaxed, they often become pregnant because you start to use some of the days designated as fertile, and that's okay. Use this as you wish. Thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoy using our app. Bye for now.